welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today we're messing around with a bit of FPV. I've got my Emax Babyhawk 2 HD, so this is a digital quad with the DJI FPV system on it. Now, you know, the quality of the camera is really good through the goggles and everything else, so I wanted to up the ante with the footage. So I've actually fitted this TPU mount for a GoPro. I've actually got like an old Hero 7 knocking around, which, you know, still provides pretty good image quality. So what I'm going to try and do is run this on this quad. And I do realise this little quad is actually a little bit small to be carrying like a full action camera. So what I've actually done is I've taken off all the heavy metal parts, you know, the big metal heavy battery door, taking the battery out, you know, taking that side door off there, tried to get the weight down a little bit. Now I know you can go full naked GoPro and just basically just take everything out, take the guts out and put it in a nice, you know, lightweight case, but obviously doing that you lose the screen and, you know, it would prevent this camera from being used in other situations. So I'm not going to go that route just yet, maybe later. And obviously there are lighter cameras than this, like the Insta360 Go and all that, but you know, this isn't terrible. It's not super light, but it's not the heaviest thing in the world. And this quad is actually really powerful, more than powerful enough to carry this and do a bit of mild, you know, acro. You know, I'm not the greatest pilot in the world, so I'm probably not going to notice a huge amount of difference. Maybe it will affect the stability. Obviously you might have to adjust the PIDs a little bit to get it to run completely right, but it's just a beautiful morning out there. I want to get out there and get some flying in. So I've got my 4S batteries charged. So there is obviously one other thing about this. Obviously I've taken the battery out, so how are we going to power it? So I've actually found this little cable. So this is like a USB-C power supply, and that plugs into one of the balancing connectors on the batteries. So effectively this connector here, and then that will power your GoPro. So now you're running the GoPro from this battery, which is great because the batteries and the reliability of the power supply on these GoPros has always been shocking anyway. So I think this is designed for 4S and upwards. You can't put 3S on there because obviously the little lug on the connector won't fit. So yeah, it's all connected up. You can turn the GoPro on and it will happily run from USB power. See, there's a little USB power logo or external power logo come up there. This camera's got stabilisation as well in 2.7K mode with 60 frames a second. It will do stabilisation at 30 frames a second on 4K as well, but I'm going to run 60, get some higher frames in there, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. One thing I have noticed about this camera is the interface is way more responsive than even my Hero 9. So I don't know, it seems like the more software they've added to these cameras, the worse it's got. They haven't upgraded the CPU or whatever, but it actually feels nicer to use than the later ones. All right, got an assortment of 4S batteries all ready to go. It's a bit frosty. It reminds me of my old cars where like even the inside frosted up. Oh, it's such a nice morning, look at this. This is a really useful FPV thing, a hand warmer. Shame you can't change the 18650 batteries in here, but that is basically a good thing to have. My hands are getting cold already. Right guys, here's the setup. So obviously in the UK you can't be flying FPV on your own anymore, so you've got to either have a spotter or you actually kind of monitor what you're doing, you know, without goggles. Basically you've got to have line of sight of your drone, but you can have a monitor here obviously, so that's what I'm going to do. So the way it works, you've got DJI FPV goggles there with a USB-C lead running into this is an OTG adapter, because the version 2 goggles you can't run them straight into a phone. You have to actually have an OTG kind of system, or this basically like a hub. So I've got that running into there, and what this will allow me to do is view the video feed on this lovely Samsung Note screen. Right, so here's the rig. I've got the balance connector connected up to the GoPro. The GoPro's on. Let's start recording it and just see. Oh, that's on, that's cool. Right, so here I am on the drone. So let's get this bad boy fired up. bloody crashed it. I wasn't paying attention to the battery. I think I found it. Oh, looks alright, looks okay. Because the camera cut out, it's now repairing the file. Ain't got much hope for that. Oh, it's done it. That's cool. It's actually fixed it. Brilliant. Right guys, I think I'm going to call it a day. My hands are freezing. But yeah, it seems to fly okay. I mean, I think I am noticing the weight on this. It is a little bit heavy, but it still flies okay. It's still pretty good. It'd be good for kind of, you know, getting footage of maybe like fast bike chases, maybe, something like that. It'd be quite a good little rig for that. But I think it's about time I kind of upgraded to 5" now. I'm loving the performance of my small stuff, like the 2.5" quads, and they are just such a blast to fly, because if you crash them, it's not the end of the world. Most of the time you can just pick them up and go again. But obviously going to 5" that's not going to be the case, but it's just having that extra grunt, really, isn't it? Like a 6S 5". So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's the next little thing. So I'm going to carry on doing a few FPV videos and stuff. Like, I know a few of you are into it out there, so hopefully we can get that side of it going as well. As it gets towards summer, I'm going to be out a lot more doing this sort of thing. But overall, yeah, I'm impressed with the mount. The mount looks quite good. I've actually looked at some of the footage. Oh, this is a Hero 6, not a Hero 7. So yeah, basically I've looked at some of the footage, and it looks pretty good on the camera. So we'll see what it looks like when I get it back onto the computer. But obviously you guys would have seen that by now. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget, like, subscribe, do the usual stuff. Follow us on Discord as well. We've got a Discord group. I'll leave the link in the description for that. There's an FPV section in there as well, so you know, it'd be nice to get some like minds chatting in there. I think there's been a bit of activity. But anyway guys, catch you next time.